All right, when you think of a treasure hunt, you probably picture pirates and buried chests of gold, right? Well, forget all that. Today, we're going on the world's biggest treasure hunt, a super high tech, deep earth quest for the energy that, powers our entire world. It's a pretty wild thought, isn't it? I mean, right now, literally thousands of feet beneath where you're sitting, there are these huge reserves of energy just waiting to be found. But actually getting to it? Well, that's a whole other story. It's an incredible engineering adventure. And when I say deep, I mean really deep. A typical oil well, it can plunge over 7,000 feet straight into the Earth's crust. Just try to picture that for a second. That's more than 2 kilometers straight down. Whoa. So to really put that into perspective, let's think about something we're all kind of familiar with. A water well. Those average maybe 800 feet deep. An oil well is nearly 10 times deeper. Yeah, we're talking about a completely different league of engineering here. Okay, so you can't just start digging wherever you feel like it. I mean, that would be crazy. Just like any good treasure hunt, first things first, you need a map. And in this case, it's up to geologists to figure out exactly where X marks the spot. So how in the world do they do that? Well, they use this incredible technique called a seismic survey. The easiest way to think about it is like giving the Earth an ultrasound. Seriously. Giant trucks send these powerful vibrations deep into the ground, and then scientists read the echoes that bounce back. It lets them create this amazing map of all the rock layers way down below and pinpoint exactly where oil might be trapped. All right, once they have their target locked in, that's when the real action begins. A massive drilling rig gets moved into place, and then they spud the well. And yeah, that's a fantastic piece of industry slang. It just means they're starting the very first part of the hole. And this is the tool that gets the job done. The drill bit itself, it's like a monster-sized electric toothbrush for the Earth. It's armed with these incredibly tough teeth made from stuff like tungsten, carbide, or even industrial diamonds. And it just gets to work grinding its way through solid rock. But here's the thing. Drilling a hole miles deep isn't just about raw power and brute force, not at all. It takes some seriously clever tools and ingenious solutions to deal with all the massive challenges you find that far down in the deep earth. I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. How do you keep a giant drill from getting way too hot? Or, getting stuck miles underground? The friction and the heat at that depth are just immense. The pressure is literally crushing. So how on earth do you manage a complex piece of machinery in an environment that extreme? Well, the answer is superhero mud. Okay, its real name is drilling mud, and it might not sound very glamorous, but trust me, this stuff is one of the unsung heroes of the entire operation. It's a high-tech marvel that makes the whole thing possible. So this special mud is doing 3 super critical jobs all at the same time. First, it cools the drill bit. It's pumped all the way down there to keep it from overheating or even melting. Second, it cleans the hole. It actually carries all the little crushed rock chips back up to the surface. And third, it controls the pressure. The weight of the mud itself creates this downward force, kind of like a heavy blanket, that keeps the immense pressure from any gas or oil below in check. But that pressure, that creates a huge risk. What happens if the drill hits a surprise high-pressure zone? Well, all that energy can suddenly surge up the well. They call this a kick, and if you don't get it under control and fast, it can lead to a really dangerous blowout. And that is where this absolutely vital piece of safety equipment comes in. It's called the blowout preventer, or BOP for short. It's basically a giant stack of incredibly powerful hydraulic valves, and it is the last line of defense if things start to go wrong. So to get a picture of how it works, just think of it as a giant safety donut for the well. One of its main parts is a valve that's literally shaped like a massive donut. And in an emergency, it can squeeze shut with unbelievable force, sealing itself around the drill pipe to stop anything from escaping. Okay, so we've talked about going straight down. Deep, deep down. But this next part, this is where modern drilling technology gets really interesting. Seriously, what I'm about to tell you is a truly mind-blowing feat of engineering. Get this, drills don't just go straight down. They can actually turn corners. Believe it or not, engineers can steer the drill bit, so they can drill straight down for a mile and then gradually turn the well to go horizontally for another mile, maybe even more. This is a total game changer because it means one single rig up on the surface can reach out and tap into a whole bunch of different oil deposits way down below.
It's way more efficient and really reduces the footprint on the surface.
So you're probably wondering, how does a rigid steel pipe bend? Well, it doesn't, not really. This analogy is perfect. Think of it like train wheels on a curved track. The pipe itself isn't bending like a noodle. Instead, the whole long string of pipe is following a very, very gradual curve that's stretched out over thousands of feet. Just like a super long train going around a gentle curve in the tracks. So, after that incredible journey, the well is lined with a strong steel pipe. Now, you have to get the oil in. To do that, they lower a special tool called a perforation gun all the way down. It basically uses these tiny controlled explosive charges to pop little holes through the pipe and out into the oil-rich rock. And that, finally, opens up a path for the treasure to flow in.
And hey, here are a few more cool bits of jargon from the drilling world. If a tool ever breaks off and gets stuck way down in the hole, they have to go fishing for it. Changing out a dull drill bit is called tripping pipe, and it's this long process that can sometimes take days. And those steel pipes that keep the hole from caving in, that's the casing, and it gets cemented in place to make sure that hole is stable, well, forever.
So, what's the big takeaway from our deep Earth adventure? After all that, the seismic maps, the superhero mud, the safety donuts, and those mind-bending drills that turn corners, what's the bottom line? I think the main thing to remember is this. Getting energy from deep underground is so much more than just digging a hole. It's this high-tech journey. It's an incredibly sophisticated mix of geology, powerful tools, and some really incredible problem-solving, all happening miles beneath our feet. You know, here's one last great way to wrap your head around the whole thing. Imagine the Earth is a giant, multi-layered chocolate cake. The drill? That's your straw. The casing is like a hard plastic liner you slide into the hole to keep the cake from crumbling in. And the drilling mud? Well, that's the cold milk you pour through to keep everything cool, clean, and flowing smoothly. It really is a treasure hunt on a truly epic scale.